as well as define what type of people it will attract. So whether we're talking about you or your customer, it's important to understand that your personality automatically changes when you enter any social media platform. So talking to your customer on Twitter won't find you interacting the same way if she were to walk physically into your office and sit down with you face to face. And another difference is talking to your customer on Facebook is not the same as engaging with them on Twitter. And interacting on Twitter is definitely not the same as posting on LinkedIn or chatting on Google+. And over here at ipersonic.com, you can take the free Twitter-oriented personality test, and we will cover more on the importance of realizing your personality profile as we go on in this webinar. So jot this down. Make sure you take the personality test over at ipersonic.com, and they will definitely let you know what type of social networker you are. So it will reveal some interesting tips for you. I went ahead and took the test, and it rated me as a good-natured realist, which I thought was quite interesting. And so once you take those the test over at Hypersonic, you will notice that the results are similar to the Myers-Briggs personality test. And the Myers-Briggs personality test will determine whether you are an introvert versus an extrovert, whether you are sensing or intuitive, thinking or feeling, judging versus perceiving. And so some of you know that Myers-Briggs is an industry standard in the corporate world. Introverts outnumber extroverts on Twitter. No matter what type of introvert you are, there are certain common characteristics and motivations that emerge for a Twitter introvert. And so these are some of the characteristics that will show up if you are an introvert on Twitter. Social media involvement feels more of a chore than a pleasure. You're likely to be on the left side of any assertiveness scale. You don't like interrupting your main money-making activity to go interact socially. And also, you easily lose track of time while you are absorbed in your work, and you dislike confrontation. You prefer a neutral, stress-free social platform where interaction doesn't become too confrontational, too intense. And you like Twitter because it's set up to be easy and not intense. On the other hand, if you are a Twitter extrovert, you're likely to be more motivated to post on Twitter rather than on other social networks because you hate wasting time. You crave instant feedback. You like to get straight to the point. You have a direct message to convey. And you like Twitter because it's easy and get the job done in real time. However, you just absolutely hate social media engagement, then Twitter may be your best choice. It is the easiest and quickest platform to use. You can pre-schedule tweets for the day through social media management tools such as Hootsuite and TweetDeck. If you have a repeating announcement you need to make, you can literally spend 2 minutes on it, and be sure that you check back during the day to see if you had any type of response to your tweet, a response that you need to acknowledge in some type of way. For instance, if someone retweeted your tweets, you do want to make sure that you thank them for retweeting your tweets. So it's a way of becoming engaged in social networking. So make sure that you acknowledge anyone's response. And it's also important to evaluate your niche clientele and make sure that they're on the same page with you. And what I mean by that is, there's no sense of you planning and running a careful Twitter campaign if they only interact on Google Plus or Facebook. And beyond that, evaluate if they are roughly the same Twitter type as you, or a Twitter introvert or a Twitter extrovert. And so another personality type of test that you can take is called Keirsey Temperament Sorter, in addition to the Myers-Briggs test. And so what the Keirsey Temperament Sorter does, it will place people into 16 basic psychological profiles based on 4 temperament types, and these are the temperament types that it would divide you into: guardian, rational, idealist, or artisan. My results show that I'm a guardian. And so this is a graphic of what the test looks like over at Keirsey, giving you a multiple choice via radio button. And this is a graphic of what the results, the test looks like over at Myers-Briggs. And so when you complete your profile, this is how your results will look. And interestingly, this is the result from the Myers-Briggs test from Human Metrics. Interestingly, it would also give you the cross profile of what your Keirsey result would look like over here. And also you can use that same profile result to see over here at the John Career indicator which career is best suited for you based on your profile results. And over here you can see other famous personalities who have the same profile type as you do. So it's a way of saving time where you can just take one test and see what the results are on the other profiles, personality profile types. So it's a good way of cross-referencing and saving you some time. Social platforms. So understand that we are dealing with the big 4 in these series. And so now let's bring our newfound knowledge regarding personality profile types and how you can figure out your personality profile type as well as your customer or client. So bring all of this newfound knowledge to these big 4 networks, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And so is there any empirical evidence that various types favor a particular platform over another? And is there a platform that suits all type of online entrepreneurs? And surely there are more than one type that hang out at the same social media platform. But how do you determine that? But 2 ways to determine are through observation and social media metrics. And when you combine those 2, you will have a much clearer and more accurate picture of who you are networking with. Adrian Chen of Gravity 7 has identified 11 types of common social media users. He did a SlideShare presentation on the common type of social media users, and he identified these 11 types of social media users: the status seeker, the critic, the socializer, the MC, the lurker, the buddy, the creator, the pundit, the rebel, the officiator, and the harmonizer. And what he did was show how you can create a campaign based on user-based rather than search term based. So your campaign would be designed around the type of user you are targeting, or the type of user who may be following you or a friend of yours, so that you can talk their language and be able to target them accurately. And so this is an example of if you have attracted or dealing with a critic. type of social media type, excuse me. And so if any of these characteristics pop up, um, as a result of because you can judge how a person behavior and interests are through their posts. And so if uh, paying attention, you will pick up on their interests and behaviors. And so a critic will see value in correcting mistakes, for example. They stick to the topic. Is it important to the belief that social media can produce better knowledge, and critic is an important contributor, blogger, poster, or commenter. And so these are some examples to show you what type of person that this will be a critic type of social media type. And so this may or may not cause you to tailor your approach depending on whether or not this was the type of follower you really wanted to attract. Or it may prompt you to change your own interaction style or even your products or services. And so we can all agree that these users are interested in networking. However, some of these users are networking only because they have been told that it's necessary to do in order to grow their business. And you will find that these type networkers who are forcing themselves to network will not be your most active group. And so you'll recognize them by the amount of pre-set up posting that they do, along with article links that don't contain any type of personal comment. And so targeting this group will not yield you a strong ROI, a return on your investment. So it's important to identify your audience, their motivations, their needs, their personality types, styles, and what triggers them. And this should be a habitual, ongoing study as you network on the different social media networks. And so helping yourself to a basic understanding of social media personality types should provide you with general indicators. But common sense and personal observation and analysis should count for a major part of your conclusions. And so that's what I meant earlier. You can observe a person networking habits, and that would be a good indicator to you of what type of personality this person possesses. Step 2.